Even when he was like about to pass, I was like by his side and he was like, "Be ready, Rima." And I was like, "It's happening?" And he was like, "Yeah." I'm like, "Okay." Like that is a level of strength I don't even know was possible. And so he shaped me and transformed me, and I sit with him a lot. And I realize um, there's a level of sadness that I can't describe and will never leave me. Like it is just so large, it is so big, and it's like the most appropriate feeling I can have. Um, and I've like experienced every level of stage of grief, and every stage of grief, I understand the importance of it and what it does and how it's what it's taught me. Um, and what it's teaching me the most is like I can't live around my sadness. I literally like it is my fuel, it is my anchor. And when I sit in it, like I expand and I grow. And it's really like changed my life in such a way that I just feel like blessed by it. And I could have waited decades to experience that loss. Um, but the more I embrace grief, it is the most beautiful, humbling, incredible teacher and motivator and flame that I've ever experienced in my life. And so I like I continue to feel blessed by my dad. You know, I can hear him tell me like, I get to just bear witness to you now, and it doesn't feel like the end of my relationship. It just feels like our relationship. This is the stage of our relationship now, and this is where we've transformed, and this is where we continue to grow. I still learn from him. I still like understand him in a different way. I still connect with him. I can still feel him. Um, so it doesn't feel like an ending. It just feels like this is where we are in our relationship right now. You're still my dad. You're just in a different space and in a different energy field, and I'm still like right here with you. You know, um,
Wow.
yeah, it's a lot. It's incredible.
Yeah.
It's
That's
telling me what's important.
That
You
was deep.
know,
That was powerful. All right.
and I don't know if we said it, but let me say it now. Our condolences to the
thank
loss of your father, because I know we've been talking about it, but just in case we haven't said it, our condolences for the loss of your father, because obviously losing a family member is very impactful. I can relate. I lost my father, but I lost my father at a very young age. I was like 8 or 9.
Mm.
So unfortunately, I didn't have the opportunity to have the life experiences that you're pulling energy from.
Yeah,
But I can definitely understand where you're coming from. Because losing a parent is you get 2 parents and that's it. You know what I mean? There's no resets. And
yeah,
most of the time, you don't prepare for it, right? You don't prepare for it, right? Even though we all know it's an eventuality that will happen, you
yeah.
don't really prepare for it, right? So, I
There's
just,
nothing that prepares you.
yeah, yeah,
You know, you like I've done spiritual work that
right,
helped me come to a level of acceptance. Like there
yeah,
were times where I would just like want him to take care of himself more, and I'd get
yeah,
frustrated and I'd fight with him and all of those things. And doing my spiritual work and sitting in with with myself, I got a lot of messages of like, your dad came here to master a lot of things. Health was not one of them, and also
wow,
like this is his choice. You know, like we all choose how we live, and like I just feel really blessed that I did get the time with him. Like talk about, I feel blessed that the agreement we made was that he would be here as I transitioned into this space, and I got to be with him when he transitioned out of it. And I feel really blessed by it. But I did a lot of reconciling with my own shit before he passed, but nothing prepared me for the loss. It sucked as much as I thought it would and more, and um I'm incredibly sad. And like, of course, there's a loss. Like my DNA is activated. There's like literally something missing. My body like feels it. But it grounds me. It makes me feel really present. Um, and it teaches me like all the time. Like, uh, I listen to my body more than I ever have. I do a lot to take care of my body so that I can have the capacity to grieve as deeply as I need to. Um, I like myself more. I love myself more. It's like I said, the more I embrace my grief and the more I embrace the feeling of that loss, I'm finding who I am. And I think we talked about authenticity before. There were times where like I would show up to like brunch with some friends and I'm like, why the heck? Like I was anxious and I like wasn't feeling like myself and I'm like, what's going on? And one day I just sat with myself and I think I heard the question I asked myself was like, if I could show up authentically right now, what would it look like? And I like wept. Like I had never wept before. And I was like, if this is just authentically me right now, you know, and I could try to like put a smile on, but then it's going to manifest in being anxious, feeling like tender, getting sensitive, you know, like being irritable. It can manifest in like being tired, you know, so I'm learning about myself every day, right? If I'm like tired and can't get up in the morning for a few days, I'm like, no, something's going on, Rima, you know, what's going on with me? And like, if I'm starting to feel irritated or like really, you know, like I said, sensitive, oh, I've been avoiding my grief. I can just sit with my sadness for a second. It's just made me really present to me. And that allows me to like show up in a way I never could before, you know? And I like it. I don't know what else to say. I like it.
No, I felt that.
I appreciate you sharing that because that was deep. And I promise you, Rima, I promise you this. You've seen the engagement that you have already had with the comments. This is why we created this platform.
Facts though.
Because I guarantee you, this is not a guess. There are people going through the loss of a loved one right now.
Yeah.
There are people going through severe depression issues right now. You understand? And they are looking for help. They're looking for information and ways to try to deal with it. So they're going to look at this episode, and I promise you, you are going to help several people through their situations and help them heal by just expressing to them what your situation was and telling them how you healed and your journey through it. So I just want to say thank you for being vulnerable enough to share that with us on the show, because again, success is not linear. It's not without bumps and bruises and detours and potholes, right? It's all of that to get you to the end goal. And they have to understand that, because once again, if you're not prepared for it, right, the preparedness of being, then when it happens to you, you might not be able to deal with it productively, and it might break you, unfortunately.
Yeah. And I can understand how, well, thank you, first of all. I can understand how you can get lost in it, you know, because a lot of times, like, you know, I'm building a spiritual relationship with my dad, and it's beautiful, right? And no amount of that changes how big my sadness is, you know? I'm just learning. I think a lot of times we live our lives like we try to find ourselves like and avoid the sadness and try to find ourselves around it. And really, like, what I'm doing is like I'm finding myself by going through it, you know? And I can't minimize this. Nothing will change like the loss of like wanting him here. You know, I can talk to him every day. I can feel him with me, but I just want to fucking sit and hold his hand and see him, you know, and break some bread with him. And like that, I can never do that. So nothing will replace that sadness. The reason why I'm okay with it is because I'm learning that it isn't the only thing that has to exist. Right. So while that sadness is still here and it's a huge part of me, I'm like creating through it.